It's been so great catching up with you guys and hearing about your career paths and your journeys and some fun stories of your co-op and student experiences from some of the extracurriculars that you've done. But on the flip side, though, what tips and or advice might you have to aspiring professionals looking to start and lead into leadership roles or entrepreneurial ventures, either passion projects or social ventures?
Yeah, actually one mantra that Envision members live by, and just to give you a bit of a background, when people join Envision, we do an onboarding activity, and we came up with like 3 different mantras of what we believe in. So I'm gonna talk about one that I love, which is grow through what you go through. And what I mean by that is, if you're part of an organization, maybe you're a volunteer or maybe you're not an executive member yet, you'd be surprised if you just raise your hand and say you want to do more or how can I do more, how receptive the other side will be. As an example, and this is a very extreme example of course, but I mentioned that I was part of the Student Venture Fund, not only in its inception in 2017, but after doing co-op and coming back, I came back a second time back in 2019. And I raised my hand alongside Anu and as well as my other senior associates, and we asked the professors, can we draft the course syllabus, and not only that, can we teach the syllabus? So not only were we the Venture Fund members, we were actually running a course as if we were professors ourselves at such a young age, and that got a lot of positive reception from the younger students who were a part of the Venture Fund at the time. And I think it really showed us that those teachers were our enablers in life and showed us that we could do more even beyond university. So raise your hand and grow through what you go through.
That's fantastic piece of advice, and I love that story because ultimately if you don't ask to be involved, you don't ever know what opportunities you might miss. Yeah, so do you have any tips or advice for aspiring professionals?
Yes, of course. So I would say that I think it's very comfortable to follow what other people are doing, but I would say the number one tip I would have to say is don't be afraid to separate from the herd. I think naturally as accountants and in this field, a lot of people are very risk averse, as they should be. But I think that's made a lot of people feel a little bit nervous about doing sort of career changes or trying something else that's outside of their comfort zone. I noticed that a lot of my classmates have decided to try new things towards the tail end of their time at the University of Waterloo, whether it's trying to be a part of a different club or trying a new co-op environment. But I think a lot of their regrets has been that it was a little bit too late. And so what I try to encourage a lot of the people that are coming into Waterloo or into a co-op program is to always just try something else, right? And that's how entrepreneurs are born, right? They have seen people do things a certain way before them, and they weren't happy with that. They didn't want to follow how things were done, so they wanted to try something else. And they probably got a lot of answers like, oh, you can't do this, or this is probably not the way that things should be done. But they were stubborn enough to continue along that path to give it a shot. And so that's personally allowed me to go into a different field such as data and analytics. When I first started at the University of Waterloo, I don't think data and analytics was a word that was thrown around a lot. But now there's data and analytics courses. The CPA has gone towards data and analytics. So there's definitely a shift towards data and analytics. And I personally like to think that I was there a little bit ahead of the curve. Because I sort of had that mentality where I didn't necessarily want to do what other people have done. So I don't have a nice mantra that Jacqueline has. So that's my advice in so many words.
Yeah, but still fantastic advice because ultimately you were ahead of the curve because the AFM program now does have a data analytics specialization. So yeah, as part of it. And I also know, Jasper, that you utilize your co-op opportunities to explore and to test drive a whole bunch as in 4, different co-op roles as well as different co-op employers to expand your experiences. And like you said, that's how entrepreneurs are born, is gaining those experiences, seeing where the gaps are and filling those gaps.
That's exactly right.
Well, thank you so much again for the two of you for taking the time out of your very busy days to chat with us. It was fantastic to catch up. Fantastic to actually see you guys and actually see that you have legs still, right? So thank you again, and please don't hesitate to connect with the school. We'd love to hear in terms of what's happening with Envision and help where we can.
Fantastic.
We'll
Thanks
stay
for having
connected.
us. Yeah.
Thank you.